So I wanted to do this video on these cast knives. It's because there's not really a whole lot of YouTube information out there showing some of their knives. Now I have just these knives, and I'll go through them. Originally, the first knife I picked up was this Black Bear. This was right after Peter Kohler went to Argentina, and that's kind of how a lot of people first learned of uh, Claudio Sobral and Ariel Sobral and Marcelo. They have cast knives in Argentina. They do a lot of stuff with either Sanmai or Damascus. The Damascus is insane awesome. I can't quite afford a Damascus, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty fortunate to have 4 of these. But when I first got this knife, it was, hands down, I've owned a lot of knives, and this thing, just the feel of it is just like nothing else I'd ever had. And I've had probably 100 different fixed blades from different places. Bussy knives I've had lots of Bark Rivers, just different ones. I've migrated up to these. At any rate, this was the first knife I got from Claudio, and then that was it. I was done. I had to basically sell off a bunch of stuff because it just wasn't even make sense to have. So at any rate, I love this knife so much, and that's about a 8.5, maybe 9-inch blade. I think I call it an 8.5, but I think it measures closer to 9 in my opinion. I liked it so well that I wanted one that I could really EDC, so I wanted basically a mini Black Bear, and I believe someone beat me to the punch on this, but there was a knife called a Jabali, which is close to this, but it was basically, the handle's different and the blade's a little not as tall as this. This is about a 5-inch blade, but it has essentially the same handle as the Black Bear, and so I just had to have one. So that was the second knife I got. And then last year, for Blade Show, when Claudio was coming, I had him make this knife. This is a big Black Bear, so this is a 12-inch blade. Basically same handles, all 3. And this thing's just epic. It really is. It's a monster. It's heavy though. It's a big monster, and all of them come with custom sheaths, right? The final knife I just got this year at Blade Show, and I actually went 2-blade with Claudio and Ariel and Marcelo. They actually got me in, and I helped work their tables. So that's kind of why I'm making this video, is to show the knives, but also kind of explain to people how do you get a Claudio Sobral knife, because it's not the easiest thing. It's a little different process with these guys because they are Argentinian and they don't speak really good English, and I believe most of their business is handled through Facebook because they're allowed the use of the translator, so it makes it a lot easier. So if you're interested in getting a knife right now, currently, and this is June of 2018, and I was just at Blade Show with those guys, their wait list was running around 7 to 8 months out. So if you wanted a knife, you basically get a hold of them, and about 7 or 8 months from the point of when you would engage this idea, that's when your knife will be made. Now I will say this, when you get a knife from them, you're not only going to get a knife, but you're going to get a custom sheath. Okay, so this sheath is for my big Black Bear. Okay, and if you notice the artwork on it, this was kind of my ideas, and then I sort of worked with Marcelo, and he's an artist, and so he produced this sheath for me. And when they do a sheath, it's not just all the stuff on the outside; they do the inside as well. I mean, there's just, I don't know of any other makers out there that are producing this. the sheath for my sub hilt. Okay, this is the knife I just got for blade show. This one basically, and I can't do this one-handed. At the end I'll put these all in their sheaths. But this knife slips in perfectly into here, even the little notch fits in here, and then it's set up to where it's a sling. The black bear sheath is right there. And where'd my Puma sheath go? Oh, there it is. The Puma sheath. Now this sheath was also another idea that I had, but Marcelo just took it to a whole nother level. But it has a skull. He's wearing sunglasses on his army helmet. It's got some bullets, bullet holes. There's a hand grenade. I said I want death and destruction and skulls and bullets, and anyways, that's what he came up with, which was pretty amazing. And like I said, they finish off the whole sheath. Even the back of this sheath. I mean, you get a whole package with these guys, right? Anyways, getting back to how to get one. So the way to get a Claudio Sobral knife is you go on Facebook and you can friend request Claudio Sobral. Claudio Sobral. Okay, so you find Claudio, you friend request him. Once you have him as a friend, now these aren't all the knives they make. They make a ton of different stuff. And they can make anything you want, and you can modify everything. So if you like this sub hilt and you want one that's shorter, maybe you don't want a 10-inch blade, maybe you want a 8-inch blade, or maybe a 12-inch blade, he'll do whatever you want. Okay? And you can go on their websites, CAS, C-A-S, knives, KNIVES.com. And on there, you can see a lot of the knives. Now, I wouldn't say go on there and that's where you're going to order from, because it's just easier to do it through Facebook and Messenger. Okay? But basically, you tell him what you want, what model, can you do this or that, and then he'll give you a price of what that's going to be. And then he'll tell you when it's going to possibly be done. Now, I will say this. If he says your knife's going to be done in November, you could pretty much set your watch to November and your knife's going to be done. And once it's finished, when they ship it, it literally takes 4 days. I mean, 4 days and your knife's all the way from Argentina to here. It's amazing. Sometimes they'll even, where you pick it up at Blade Show if that's something you want to do. But at any rate, I wanted to show these knives, and I wanted to explain how to buy a Claudio Sobral knife. Maybe that would help people. So I'm going to go ahead and sheathe these knives and show them off. Okay, so all the knives are in the sheaths now. And like I said, the sub hilt, I mean, just the fit and finish you get of one of these, from tip to tip, sheath, the whole deal. You're getting a total package. Once this thing comes to you, it's not like you have to ship it off and have somebody do, a custom sheath. Not saying you couldn't have it resheathed, but there's no point in it because the sheaths that they do are just really awesome. So anyways, I just wanted to go ahead and show these off. Have a nice day.